I think we have all observed that fear is a very easily manipulated emotion. And we are seeing it manipulated now, and I think to not good ends. It has not been my observation so far in my time in the legislature that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have played fast and loose with the facts. Either side, for that matter. There can always be an exception, but it's been my experience that we have tried to be honest, to be truthful, to be data-based, and to be fact-based in what we've put forward and in what we've objected to. While my colleagues from the other party cannot control how the White House chooses to be less than truthful or fact-based, I hope that in this House, we would still do our best to stick to the facts. Now, let me elaborate a bit on what my colleague from Santa Barbara referred to. Of the various perpetrators of terrorist acts in the United States that resulted in deaths, and we're talking 9/11, we're talking San Bernardino, we're talking Orlando, and I'll go through a few of them. Let me be specific. None of them came from the 7 countries that are in the order. The Orlando shooter, Afghan descent. The San Bernardino circumstance, the husband was an American, born in America, but Pakistani descent. His wife was from Pakistan. 9/11, as my colleague from Santa Barbara mentioned, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Lebanon, the Arab Emirates, none in the order. The Boston Marathon brothers, one was a U.S. citizen. They were both from Kyrgyzstan, but they identified as Chechen, Russian. The attack on the Marines in Chattanooga was committed by a naturalized American born in Kuwait. I can go further down the list, but I'll leave it. But none from Iraq, Syria, Iran, Sudan, Libya, Somalia, or Yemen. Now, let me bring it home. I think, like most of us, I watched in horror this weekend when I saw folks at the airports and I saw family members crying because they had family members detained. There were 5 refugees detained at SFO over the weekend, and I don't even want to refer to them as refugees. To be honest, they were 5 people that were viewed to fall under this ban. It turns out that they weren't really falling under the ban. 4 were released last night, 1 this morning. UC Berkeley has now advised all Cal students from the 7 banned countries to not travel. Even those that are out of the country right now have been advised not to return until UC can give them advice as to how to return safely. A UC Berkeley student from a banned country who had already left the country on travel is now reached out to my congressperson's office, Congresswoman Lee, to get advice on how to safely return. An Iranian student enrolled at UC Berkeley was prevented from boarding a plane back to the US. He was in Iran, and he's decided now not to return back to school this semester because of the circumstance. This panic and fear is not a benefit. It does not create safety. I urge an aye vote.